Welcome inside the Blake's Take live stream broadcast for tonight's big time matchup, rematch of the opening night game of the season for Philomath basketball. The preseason number one Junction City Tigers taking on now the number one currently Philomath Warriors. These two fought it out earlier this season, but the Warriors came out victorious by a wide margin, 59-33. The final in that one. Ty May and Cole Beardsley combining for 36 of the Warriors' 59 points in that one. It was electric, but after the game, if that win over the preseason number one was a statement-making victory, Beardsley responded saying, I don't know about that. I mean, they're number one, but we expected this. I mean, we were ranked third in the state, and we didn't like that. So we were going to come out here and show them what we're about. Now with the roles reversed, Junction City currently number three, the Warriors number one. We will see how it plays out tonight in round number two. Scouting the starting lineup for Junction City, the senior Caleb Burnett, the point guard wing hybrid. Right behind him, Gunnar Roethlisberger, another senior in this lineup. Cooper Roethlisberger, the other member. He's a junior, the younger brother of Gunnar. And number 14, Jackson Krister, another senior. And rounding off the lineup of both of these teams, all-state players, Court Knabe, rounding it off. And we are just about to get underway with tip-off set to come. Junction City already out on the floor. Definitely have a chip on their shoulder, something to prove after that embarrassing defeat to Philomath earlier this year. Warriors take the floor with Beardsley, May, Peters, Russell, and Kramer all scouting the starting lineup for them. May and Burnett on the tip. Burnett gets it away from May and wins it to start this one. Knabe at the top of the key. And the officials make a stoppage of play. Junction City will take it out of bounds. Not quite sure the reasoning quite yet. Knabe inbounds it to Kister, gets it right back. Works on Kramer, past the midcourt. Gets it over to Roethlisberger, Gunnar Roethlisberger to be specific. Roethlisberger, back to Knabe. The Warriors working that similar 2-3 zone that worked so effectively against Junction City last season, or earlier this year rather. Ty May called for the foul as he tried to strip it away from Kister. His first and the first of the game for either team. Knabe inbounds to Kister in the backcourt. He'll come in and get it right back from him. Slim and lengthy. Lethal from beyond the arc. He dishes inside as he's a great facilitator as well. Trying to go up strong was Cooper Roethlisberger. He misses. And Gunnar Roethlisberger with the ball on the far side. Gets it back to Knabe. Over to Kister. Knabe drives inside, crossover, mid-range jumper, rolls in and out of the rim, into the giant hands of Jacob Peters. Philomath will take their first chance at offense with Beardsley taking his usual point guard position. He gives it up to Kramer on the far side. It's stripped away by Knabe. Working up the floor, he gets it to Roethlisberger, who goes up inside, misses the layup. On the second chance effort, though, Burnett puts it in as the Tigers strike first. Philomath working through the press. Almost losing it was Beardsley. Peters gets it back. Russell in the paint. Loses the ball as Burnett stripped it away. The Warriors will take it out of bounds on the far side. A team with strong chemistry and lots of scrappiness that Junction City has, and clapping it up after they force a turnover for the Warriors, who were prolonged by turnovers early in their matchup against Redmond. forcing turnovers was Junction City yesterday, who held a 25-12 lead just after the first quarter, and they rolled to a 63-32 victory over Mazama in the same gym the Warriors played in at Junction City Junior High yesterday. Knabe turns it over as Russell intercepts it. Still 2-0, Junction City leading. Kramer on the far side, circles around the arc, gives it up to Maya on the far side as well. Over the top pass to Russell inside, uses his physicality, and then just tips it off the glass and in. Warriors strike back and score their first points of the night from Chad Russell, who had a great offensive performance yesterday. Really coming up big down the stretch. Kinster from the left elbow swishes it through. Kramer swings it up the court. Junction City going a full four-court press. Kramer drives inside and draws the foul on Cooper Roethlisberger, his first. Kramer will go to the line. Kramer misses the first free throw. Warriors usually a pretty good free throw shooting team. The second one also misses, with Gunnar Roethlisberger collecting the rebound. Knabe swings it over to Gunnar Roethlisberger. Back over to Kister. Knabe working through the 2-3 zone, with the two being Kramer and Beardsley at the top of the key. Knabe drives, stuck in the middle of the paint. He takes a nice pass inside and going up and getting the and one shot after being denied by Russell is Burnett, who looks to make it a three-point play. The foul coming on Jacob Peters in the second effort to help his teammate out. It's his first personal, the Warriors' third team foul. With more team fouls than points thus far here in this first quarter, as we just go under 5 points. Burnett misses his free throw. Still just a 6-2 ball game. May, guarded by Burnett, gives it up to Kramer on the far side, guarded by Knabe. May pump fakes a shot, drives baseline. He's stuck in the corner, tries to throw it cross court to his 6'7 teammate, Chad Russell. It's deflected off the hands of Cooper Roethlisberger, though. Warriors will take it out of bounds. Beardsley set to inbound. He throws it over the top to Kramer at the top of the key. Over to the far side, back to Beardsley. He's guarded, contested by Kister. He crosses over at the Marshfield logo, throws it over to Kramer on the near side. Kramer dishing to May. Junction City playing some tight defensive pressure. Warriors trying to find some space to get a shot open. Haven't been able to find one yet. Kramer on the near side. Comes off the screen from Russell. Works through the steal. Beardsley on the far side. Thought about a three. Hesitates. Drives. Spin move in the lane. Throws it off the glass and is fouled in the process. The foul coming on Kister. He'll go to the stripe and shoot two. Beardsley puts in the free throw. As I mentioned, was one of the leading scorers in the game for the Warriors in their opening matchup against Junction City week 1. Put up 16 points in that one. Has had double digits in every game this season. Gets his first couple tonight with those 2 free throws. Roethlisberger gives it back to Knabe. The Warriors come up with the steal as Kramer on the breakaway. Falls to the floor, gets it up to Beardsley, who is blocked by Roethlisberger. Unable to finish at the rim. Roethlisberger guarded in the 2-man 2-3 zone. Kramer once again coming up with the hands and forcing deflections and forcing turnovers. He gets fouled as he fell to the ground. Really stepping it up on the defensive end of the floor is Kramer tonight. New substitution coming into the game for Kister. It'll be number 5, Keovin Riley. Just over 3 minutes left to play. Warriors down by 2 in the first quarter. Kramer on the far side, drives on Knabe to the right, hands it off to May, who hands it back to Beardsley, guarded by Riley. May for 3 from the far side. It goes over the top, rebounded by Kramer, who is working physically tonight, tries to drive, gets tangled up, and goes up for the shot, and a jump ball called. Blake Eckert not too happy with that one. Was looking for a foul. Nevertheless, the Warriors will keep possession, take it out of bounds. Beardsley set to inbound. Gets it to Kramer at the top of the arc. Throws it back to Beardsley. In an arms reach is Riley, but Beardsley steps back. His shot rolls in and out. As Knabe takes it the other way. Burnett gives it off to Riley. Back to Knabe at the top. Gives it up to Caleb Gunnar Roethlisberger. Another new substitution into the game. Sammy Espinoza down at the low block for the Tigers. Burnett fakes at the right elbow. Tries to get it to Knabe. He isn't able to collect it and claps his hands in frustration as the ball rolls out of bounds. Another turnover for the Tigers on 3 straight possessions. Kramer gets it in, tangled up between Peters and Beardsley, teammate on teammate. Peters swings it up to Kramer, working in the fast break. May at the low block, pump fakes, dribbles, and gets it to drop in. He gets his first points of the night. Held to a low scoring total last night. Played a team role, will definitely have to be a little bit louder tonight, and a team like Junction City. Certainly feeding their fair share of tests this tournament. Facing number 2 Redmond, and now number 3 Junction City in the 4A division. The foul coming on Beardsley there as his first personal foul. Warriors with 14 fouls thus far, 1:46 left, all tied up at 6. Riley gets the inbound, hands it back to Knabe. The 2-3 zone still on with Kramer and Beardsley still trapping. Driving, Roethlisberger tries to get it in to Espinoza, who loses it as it's deflected off the scrappy Kramer. Knabe inbounds it to Roethlisberger. He's trapped. He gets it away to Riley. Back up top to Burnett for 3. It's off the back iron and into the hands of Peters. Beardsley taking it up the far side. Crosses over on Riley. Crossover step, top of the key, shifts back. His handle is clean. Back to Peters at the low block. Step back 3 from the far side. It comes up short, not enough mustard. Burnett rises up and comes down with it. Knabe hands it to Riley, far side shot from the logo. It rolls in and out. Burnett with the rebound on the floor. Goes up in that same spot. Despite him being shadowed under Russell and May, he's able to get up at the low block and make some action happen. Just over 30 seconds left to go. And a hand check foul called on Riley. His first personal foul. 4th team foul for Junction City. Kramer just throws it back in the backcourt to Beardsley, who crosses half court with Riley in his swap position, set to defend. Beardsley trapped and isn't able to escape. Knabe almost there for the takeaway steal, but just wasn't able to get a grasp on it, tipped it away. Kramer will check out just at the final seconds of the quarter. As Brody Bushnell, who had a solid performance off the bench yesterday, will check in. Time on the near side, guarded by Burnett. Gives it up to Beardsley, inside to Peters. His big body gets up inside and lays it home. Junction City trying to throw a full court pass. Connection trying to be from Knabe to Riley. It's deflected off the hands of May. May didn't think so. He'll be taken out of bounds on the near side by Junction City, Knabe being the inbounder. Knabe inbounds. It's caught by Riley, who throws it back out of bounds to no one. 4 seconds left. Both teams tied up. Brody Bushnell with the inbound. Beardsley will escape, and the clock will just wind out there. Low-scoring defensive action for this first quarter. Both teams going back and forth with the stealing action, but neither team able to quite get it done at the rim. Both teams just combining for 16 points in this first quarter. We're about to have the second quarter come underway, and that's where the Warriors really found their rhythm in Junction City on opening night, outscoring the Tigers 17-1 in the second frame, really building up that advantage. And Junction City didn't even have a single field goal in that second quarter, so we'll see how the roles have changed after a growth of 5 games since they've played one another. Junction City 5-1 on the season. That lone loss to Philomath. Philomath still holding their undefeated record despite the many tests they have faced. Definitely have some unfinished business this year, as was the motto for the women's basketball team last season, who ended up going on to win the state championship. The boys coming up short here in this same gym, taking a 4th place finish after some couple of defeats, and will get their second chance at Forest Grove, the venue in which the Warriors came up, didn't even have the opportunity at a state championship in 2020. Knabe from downtown on the far side. It goes up and over and rebounded by May. Beardsley near side works on Riley. Stuck in his tracks, no screen can be used from Peters, who's trying to help him out. He drives inside, tries to take it to the rack himself, comes up short. Knabe swings it up to Burnett. Riley on the near side for 3. Fires and misses. It goes off the top of the backboard. Officials will call it dead. Junction City going back to their full court press as they have used. They swing it up the court to Beardsley. Beardsley has a lane. He throws it to Russell, who on the alley-oop lays it home. Knabe on the near side working through the Philomath 2-3 zone. Roethlisberger tries to throw it in to Espinoza, isn't able to get it done. Beardsley crossovers Riley. Spin move, step back 3, thought about it. He gave it up to Peters, and now back with it with Russell at the top of the key. Dribbles it to his teammate. Swinging it over to Bushnell, guarded by Knabe. Get it at the top to Peters with May on the near side. May looking for a screen. He drives baseline, doesn't decide to use it, and a charging foul called as the entire force of May fell on Burnett. Clearly a charge you could see on that one. Easy call for the official. Burnett on the far side. Swings it back to Knabe. He takes a dribble, thought about a 3. He takes one, and it goes off the right side of the rim into the hands of the undersized Bushnell, who comes up with the rebound. Feisty fella who came up with quite a few critical rebounds and points down the stretch yesterday. Beardsley driving to the rack, tried to lay it home. His finger roll comes up short of the rim, but not without a foul. He'll go to the free throw line for the second time tonight. The foul coming on Riley, his second foul. Both teams with 5 team fouls. The Warriors have reclaimed the advantage, 10-8. Make that 11. And Time A will substitute out of the game for the first time tonight. But clearly in frustration as he's been held to a low scoring total in the first half of both these games, something he has not been used to. But it's just got to play a leadership type role as he is trying to this season and get his team on the mountaintop. Burnett drives to the lane and gets in, dropping it in as he sliced and diced his way into the lane. Beardsley, guarded by 2 defenders at the top of the key. He gets it to Kramer as he works through. Kramer coming off the screen. Euro steps in and banks it off the glass and counting the foul, the referees will. Lots of physicality down in the paint. But Kramer not deterred by the contact as he is able to throw up a shot and it miraculously drops in. Once again, isn't able to convert from the free throw line though. 0 for 3 from the stripe tonight. Knabe tries to get it to Burnett. It's deflected by Kramer. Roethlisberger gets the ball from Knabe, who's trying to find his rhythm as well. Wasn't able to get it done. And Philomath had a big night, big day yesterday. Thought about a shot. Tried to hand it off to Burnett. And it'll be a kicked ball, so the ball will be taken out of bounds by Philomath. By the Tigers, rather. Riley will check out after coming in off the bench. And his counterpart, Kister, will check back in. Espinoza, the only member of the starting lineup, who's not a member of the starting lineup in the game. Hasn't seen much action down there at the low block. Espinoza gets the ball now. He gives it up to Roethlisberger, who kicks it out to Knabe for 3. Beardsley working through the full court press. He's trapped. Finds it away to Russell. Gives it up to Kramer. Hesitates and is called for a carry during that hesitation. Turnover for the Philomath. Just a little under 4.5 left to play in this first half. Philomath with a slim 1-point advantage. Certainly not having the type of runs that they did opening night. Knabe at the left elbow tries to dish inside to Burnett. It's stolen away and deflected by Bushnell. Beardsley going the other way. Dishes inside to Kramer, who's there to just tip it up and in. Knabe on the near side. Gets it to Burnett. Kister back to Knabe on the near side. He caught fire just on that last shot. We'll see if he'll take another one from downtown. Kister drives baseline, something the Warriors don't like to give up. Warriors come up with the defensive rebound, throwing it up the court. Beardsley trying to find Bushnell, and almost stealing it away was Burnett, but it comes off his forearm, and it'll stay with the Warriors, who catch a break there. Beardsley set to inbound on the near side. Gets it into Bushnell, swinging it cross court to Kramer. Gets it in on the far side, corner. It's Beardsley, gets inside. Russell trying to give it to Peters, and a double dribble called on Russell before he's able to get it there. Second straight possession, resulting in a turnover for the Warriors. Had some turnover struggles yesterday. Trying to find some more valuable possessions. Kramer steals away the ball as the Warriors' defensive pressure proving solid. Takes it coast to coast and gets it to the rack once again as Junction City takes a timeout. Preston Kramer with a solid tournament so far on both ends of the floor, being the shining light tonight under these Marshfield lights in this gym that is so spectacular with its dome-like environment. Although it doesn't have that same electric feel as it usually does, it's still such a special place and holds dear to many Philomath fans' hearts. So Philomath on quite a good run here, outscoring Junction City 10-5 thus far with just over 3 minutes left here in this second quarter. Knabe on the dribble up the court. Gives it over to Krister. Throwing it inside to Burnett. Cross court to Kister. This is back to Kister from Knabe. Tries to find Espinoza on the roll, but isn't able to get him there. The pass just a little too in front of him. Kramer has to get the pass in. He gets it to Bushnell. Beardsley taking it up the near side, and cherry picking was Chad Russell, who's there to just put it in. Little sneaky move. Big man hiding, getting his fair share of 2 points. Roethlisberger dishes inside. It's Espinoza going up strong. His first shot attempt. It doesn't go as Kramer takes it up the far side, giving it to Bushnell in the near side corner. Gives it back to Peters. Kramer at the top of the key, guarded by Burnett. Gives it back to Bushnell. Swinging it over to Beardsley. Beardsley guarded by Kister. Tries to come off the screen of Russell. He's tangled up in a scuffle with Junction City. The Tigers take it the other way. Knabe on the near side, stuck in his tracks, picking up at the dribble. He tried to make a no-look pass, but it just flies through the air as it's deflected off the fingers of the Warriors. Espinoza will check out as Cooper Roethlisberger will check in. The younger of the two Roethlisberger brothers. Gunnar Roethlisberger gets the inbound and lays it up and in. Just 90 seconds left here in this first half. Warriors lead 20-15. Beardsley takes it up the far side. Dishes to Russell at the far side block. A long-range three off the coming off the crossover and hits it from way downtown. Beardsley with some confidence. Russell with the steal, called for a travel as he jumped and pivoted at the same time. He's unable to get it up the court to Beardsley. But what a shot by the kid. He's had a lot of buzz this year of the impact he's had on this team and the kind of work he's put in this offseason. He's put on some weight, put on some muscle, a lot stronger, a lot more confident, and looking to make a name for himself in the state of Oregon this senior season. He's had a great start to it thus far and continuing to do it thus far tonight. Roethlisberger trapped by Kramer. Knabe coming off the screen. Settles on the near side midcourt. Brody Bushnell trying to strip it away and tip it up. He's called for the foul as he did so. Warriors with 16 fouls as well as Junction City. One foul, send them each to bonus. Knabe, as clock goes under 30 seconds, hands it off to Roethlisberger. To the other Roethlisberger, back to Knabe on the near side. Hesitates, dishes inside to Roethlisberger on the quick pass that he has. Such a bullet pass type that he has. Roethlisberger will go to the free throw line on the foul. It's Kramer's second personal foul. So he'll take the seat on the bench. Well, Caden Meir will come into the game. Saw his first bit of action coming off an injury yesterday. Roethlisberger misses his free throw attempt. As Kister will check out for Junction City. A new member to tonight's game, Dyson Farold, checks in. Roethlisberger nails the second. Clock winding down from 10. As Beardsley in isolation with Knave. He wants the shot. He's going to try and get it. He step backs the three and nails it, but a travel called, and clearly in frustration is Beardsley, who wanted to make a statement with that shot, as the Warriors made a statement with their victory opening night. Two of the better players in the state, Knave and Beardsley. Roethlisberger heaves up a shot. It almost goes in from the logo, but it rattles in and out as the Warriors once again put together a solid second quarter similar to what they did opening night, outscoring Junction City 15-8 in the second quarter as they hold a 7-point advantage at the break. We'll be back for second half action here after the 10-minute break here on the Blake's Take live stream from Marshfield High School at the 20th Annual South Coast Holiday Tournament. So in an overtime thriller, folks, Madeline Young of Astoria defeats her opponent in the finals to claim the three-point contest victory at the South Coast Holiday Tournament here at Marshfield High School. Cole Beardsley, the lone member of Philomath, either team left in the three-point competition. He's in the semifinals of the three-point contest, which will take place after the conclusion of this game and before the final game tonight that is set for 7 p.m. And that 7 p.m. matchup will be between a girls' competition at 7 p.m. in the tournament. And so to be tuned for that, check my socials to see how that turns out. But we'll be right here for the rest of this second half of this outstanding matchup between two of the best teams in the 4A classification. Junction City playing a little more tight with Philomath tonight than in the first half last time, where they only scored 12 points. Still not a high-scoring total for the Tigers, who have managed just 16 thus far in the first two quarters. Look to try and add to their total. They were able to cut into their deficit that stood at 24 as much as it was last time around. The Warriors trying to not let these Tigers climb their way back in again. Philomath will start with the ball on the far side. With Jacob Peters set to inbound to Cole Beardsley, both teams with their starting lineups back into the game. Beardsley working on Kister, hands it off to Kramer on the near side, guarded by Knabe. Comes off the screen from Peters. Gets it back to Peters. Throws across court to Beardsley, has an open three. He fires and drills it. Cole Beardsley with his second tray tonight. The other one coming from nearly the Marshfield logo. Burnett at the middle of the key. Dishes back out to Knabe. He drives right, settles at the right elbow, and dishes in, finding Roethlisberger for the two. Beardsley takes it up the near side. Stops at the left elbow, dishes it to Kramer on the near corner. Looks for May coming around. He gets it to May on the near side. Over the top pass to Russell, who throws it up in and off the fingers. And a pushing foul called on Beardsley. His second personal foul, the first for either team to start this half. Knabe taking it up the near side, gives it off to Roethlisberger. Stopped in his tracks by Beardsley, taking a good job at that 2-3 zone. It's hit off the foot of Knabe into the hands of Peters. Warriors aren't able to keep it with them. Knabe recollects the ball and tries to give it inside to Cooper Roethlisberger, who isn't able to handle it. Falls off his hands. It'll be taken out by the Warriors after the official collects the ball from the corner. We'll give it back to Peters. Peters throws it into Kramer, swinging it up the court to Beardsley. Drives strong on Kister, crossing over. Throws it over to May on the baseline. And awkwardly stands, drives inside, and powers it in. Almost lost his balance there. Thank goodness he didn't fall to the floor. Able to instead finish it at the rim. Another hand check called. This time it comes on Chad Russell. Surprisingly, only his first personal foul. Normally a guy that we have to worry about, or Philomath has to worry about from getting in foul trouble. Stayed pretty clean throughout this tournament. Knabe from deep comes up short, and getting the rebound is Burnett, who falls to the floor and drops it in for the and one. His second chance at a free three-point play tonight. He finished off the first one down at the other end. And just as I was saying, Russell wasn't getting into foul trouble. He picks up his second foul. Hopefully that narrative changes. Burnett, once again, isn't able to finish the three-point play. Beardsley takes it up midcourt, crosses the Pirates logo. The Warriors still lead by 10, 30-20. May, from the corner, fires a three and is fouled in the process. He'll get 3 chances at the line. And longtime Junction City head coach Craig Roethlisberger with his hands over his head as his team is struggling to find rhythm tonight. 42-year-long tenure at Junction City coming to an end this year in his final season with the Tigers. Hoping to cap it off with a championship, but the team standing in their way is their opponent right now. Time converts his first free throw. Chad Russell communicating with the official as to the causes of his fouls, trying to improve upon his physicality in a legal way. May goes 3 for 3 at the stripe. He's been perfect from there. Roethlisberger working to the rack and is called for a charge as May was standing in his way. Took a hard fall to the hardwood. Peters gets it into May. Beardsley up the court. He goes coast to coast and jellies it in. A full circular motion as he brought it in to the bucket. Cole Beardsley making plays from beyond the arc and in the paint. Junction City calls a timeout. Some confusion among the players as to what quite is going on. And rather than a timeout, it's a technical. So a technical called on Coach Roethlisberger, who, as I mentioned, had his hands over his head earlier and just let out a few comments that now gave Beardsley a couple more chances at the free throw line. He nails those. He's up to double digits for his 6th straight game. Beardsley works through the press as the Warriors maintain possession after the technical. They lose it quickly, though, as Roethlisberger comes up with the steal. Beardsley trying to get it back. He's called for the foul and falls to the floor. A costly mistake, as that's his 3rd personal foul and 3rd team foul for Philomath. Knabe takes it past the Pirates logo. Roethlisberger swinging it to Kister in the corner. Knabe, what is expected to be an all-state player, has been held to a low-scoring total tonight. Burnett has been the leading scorer, and he adds to his total tonight for Junction City with that bucket. Coming the other way, the Warriors lose possession as Burnett comes up with a play on the defensive side of the floor. Roethlisberger with Beardsley creating havoc at the top of the key. Knabe tries to make another one of those no-look passes. It goes off the hands of Burnett, and it'll be taken out by the Warriors. Both teams chirping a little bit as the officials communicate, and with, I believe, 2 disagreeing, whether it was Junction City or Philomath who tipped it out of bounds. It will be Philomath ball. You can feel the emotion and the tension between these 2 schools. Beardsley dishes inside to Russell, who's there to just drop it in for 2. Knabe on the far side, guarded by Philomath defenders. Gives it up to Roethlisberger, swinging it back to Knabe, who is able to pull it from that range. Hasn't been so successful so far tonight, but we know he's capable of it. A scramble to the floor. Burnett trying to save it. Gives it up to Roethlisberger. He throws it off for Philomath. A foul coming on Beardsley again, and Cole Beardsley with a lot of care and leadership. One of the captains of this team, trying to give his team his all on both ends of the floor, but comes up with a couple of costly fouls over these last 2 minutes, and he'll now have to take a seat for quite a bit, still with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Bush now up the far side, gives it off to Peters, throws it to May. May at the top of the key, guarded by Roethlisberger. Kramer one-on-one with Burnett. Crossovers. It's stolen away from Bushnell by Kister. Kister taking it the other way. Gets in the lane and switches it through. 39-24 with 3:23 left. Warriors still in front. Kramer taking it up the near side. He loses the ball as the Warriors turn it over, and Coach Blake Ecker will call a timeout. So the Warriors need a chance to regroup and find their rhythm after they lose Beardsley to a couple of costly fouls, and certainly just get back on the right foot again, but they've been doing a good job throughout the start of this third quarter. That is past majority now, but have definitely gained foul trouble from both Beardsley and as a team with 5 team fouls. Just one more foul to give. Brady Bush now has the substitution for Philomath in place of Beardsley. Roethlisberger taking it up the court, loses it on the floor. It's taken by May with a full head of steam. He drives up the court, hands it to Kramer, who goes up and almost is able to finish with the foul. He doesn't finish, but he'll be able to go and have a chance at 2. Kramer still with his scoring drought at the free throw line. 0 for 4 tonight. It hasn't looked good. Try and get back on the right step with his second attempt. Isn't able to get there. 0 for 5 from the line. Certainly something that will need to be addressed in practice going forward. Knabe at the top of the key, gives it up to Roethlisberger, who slips and is called for a travel. It's kind of trying to grasp his feet after he was falling. Kramer, the inbounder, gets it into Bushnell, throwing it over to Peters, who takes it up the far side, is double teamed by Knabe and Roethlisberger. Bushnell thought about a 3, throws it up top to May, and is able to put it home. May with that nice backside cut really opened it up. Oh, trying to sneak for the steal there. Roethlisberger goes up, heaves up a shot. It doesn't fall, and he falls out of bounds. And a foul called on the floor on Chad Russell, who picks up his 3rd personal foul. Warriors 16 foul. Kister from the block, fadeaway shot. Doesn't fall. Kramer with the rebound. Crosses over. Crosses midline. Guarded by Knabe. He swings it to Bushnell. Bushnell pivoting, dishing. As Peters on the far side court receives. Driving on Roethlisberger, stopped at the free throw line. Kramer tried to step into a three. He thought about it, but didn't take it. Gives it off to Ty May, dishing it to Peters. Back to May from long range and way off the mark as it bounces hard off the backboard, and bouncing hard to the floor is Chad Russell along with Cooper Roethlisberger. Both falling to the hardwood, and a pushing foul coming on Cooper Roethlisberger. So the two fall to the floor, but Roethlisberger being at fault for the cause. Caden Meir will check into the game. Ty May gets the reception at the free throw line. Meir will circle around the arc. And a hand check foul called on Burnett as Meir tried to work through the physicality. Junction City in their own bit of foul trouble. And another technical foul called on Junction City. This time it's on the floor by Kister being the one at fault. Definitely had some expectations coming into this game and have certainly not met them either playing or in sportsmanship matter. May has certainly worked on his free throws as he is perfect from the line tonight again. Thus far, him and Beardsley, the two leading scorers on this team, and they know how to put in free throws, and that's why they are so successful. Among other things, of course. Caden Meir tries to cross midcourt, but he's stuffed as Cooper Roethlisberger tips it away out of bounds. It'll stay with Philomath. Near inbounds to Kramer, driving up the near side and trying to come back with the steal from the backside is Knabe, who's called for the foul. That's the 7th team foul on Junction City. So it'll send Kramer to the line. 0 for 5 tonight, as I've mentioned, trying to get something going from the stripe as his team needs every point they can get in critical matchups like this. And he finally hits it as his teammates clap from the sideline, cheering him on. The Warriors lead up to 20 with that free throw as Kramer puts it in. And a lane violation called on Ty May. Or rather, not a lane violation, it's coming as a hand check. So that's the 7th team foul for Philomath as well. So both teams in bonus with 1:20 left. The Warriors in solid position, standing on a 20-point lead. Burnett at the free throw line. 1-1. The first goes through. Cole Beardsley still on the bench with 4 fouls tonight. Has had a couple of costly ones down the stretch. We'll have to wait to see his time again in the 4th quarter. Kramer at the end of the 3rd quarter, driving coast to coast, he lays it home. Having a solid night tonight, up to 8 points. Cooper Roethlisberger around the arc, dishing inside. Knabe tries to find Roethlisberger in the lane. Warriors with another foul. This one coming on Caden Meir, his first personal. Roethlisberger gives it up and isn't able to connect as Burnett comes down with the free throw, comes down with the rebound, and it's stolen away. Kramer taking it up the near side, gives it to Bushnell. Bushnell falls to the floor, saves his dribble, but doesn't save the ball as it's turned over. May in a scramble. Riley trying to work through it with May. It's a jump ball called. It'll stay with Junction City. Both teams playing scrappy. Connor Harms will see his first action of this holiday tournament. the junior coming into the game for Time A, who's played the majority of Philomath minutes tonight. Knabe, with under 30 seconds left in this third quarter, thought about a step back three. Dishes inside on the no-look pass to Roethlisberger. Once again, fails to have success at the rim. Kramer, guarded by Roethlisberger, charges forward. Hands it off to Mir. Mir called for the charge as Knabe was almost in a swap position, looking to just be charged on rather than defend. With his linky body, he was able to definitely sell it for sure. Burnett tries to take it up the floor. Float game goes up and not through. Philomath leads still by 20, 46-26 at the end of three. So the dominant quarter for Philomath, as opposed to the second, comes in the third. Warriors doing great damage there, but at a costly price, as one of the best players, co-leaders in Cole Beardsley, is in foul trouble with 4 team fouls, and as it appears in the Philomath huddle right now, he will not be returning to start this third quarter, and will have to play his role from the sideline, encouraging his teammates on. While Junction City, on the other hand, has not been able to find a way to get through this Philomath 2-3 zone that has worked so effectively, as most teams prepare for this Philomath team through their 1-3-1 half-court trap that they use so well in the full court. But this half-court defense for Philomath has certainly worked well, as Junction City only at 26 points tonight. They were held to 32 on opening night. The Warriors defense, as they take pride in. I spoke with Chad Russell this morning, and they're trying to go for the lowest team point total allowed in Philomath High School history, and that is certainly a good goal to strive for. We start the fourth quarter. Bush now set to inbound for Philomath, who takes possession with Kramer. The junior stepping up in his role this season has shined under the lights of Marshfield tonight. Bush now on the far side, the senior in his evolving role. Dishes it over to Mir on the far side, guarded by Roethlisberger. Kramer, guarded by Knabe, swings it to Mir, who drives inside, tries to throw it off the glass. It doesn't drop through. Knabe dishing it up to the other Roethlisberger, Cooper. Back to the other Roethlisberger, Riley, dishing it to Cooper. Roethlisberger into the corner. Knabe finally fires a three. It doesn't fall. It's rebounded by Riley, who goes up on the second chance effort and is fouled in the face by Jacob Peters, who, surprisingly, unlike the rest of the Philomath roster, is not in too much foul trouble. It's only his second personal foul. But the 10th team foul does get Philomath in a bit of a bind, as they're in double bonus. Riley drops the first through, as Espinoza, who was playing a lot of the minutes in the first half, has not seen much action up until now. Sat the whole third quarter. He checks in at the low block with him and Peters going after it. Peters tries to win the battle, and he does. It's tipped off the hands of Espinoza on the attempted rebound. Peters, the inbounder, gets it into Kramer. Takes it past half court. Drives to the block, and is called for a charge as his full head of steam gets the best of him. So a few offensive fouls have trickled up here at the start of this fourth quarter and the end of the third. 7 minutes left of game time. Warriors still leading 46-27. Knabe at the top of the arc tries to throw it inside, and man, those passes are quick. It's hard for his teammates to even handle sometime, and clearly that was the case with Roethlisberger there. Knabe at the baseline, throws it over the top to Espinoza. Isn't able to collect it. Riley at the top of the key, though, drives, Gives it to Knabe from a corner three and finally swishes it through after several missed attempts. The Warriors cannot let him heat up because when he's going from beyond the arc, he is pretty lethal. Peters, as he floated through the air, gave it off to his teammate, Bushnell. Caden Muir on the float game driving baseline, doesn't let it go. And off the hands of Kramer on the rebound. It rolls out of bounds. And Connor Harms and Caden Muir will check out of the game as May and Russell return. Knabe taking it up the near side. Stripped away by May on the fast break. He drives to the rack, bounces off the glass. On the second effort is Russell. Trying again is Bushnell. May comes up with it now. Off the far side, a couple of hot potatoes. It's into the hands of Junction City. Knabe on the fast break the other way. Settles at the free throw line. Falls back as he drops it through the net. And one for Junction City. The foul coming on Ty May, who checks into the game just recently, and that'll be his third personal foul. The three-point play is successful for Junction City. Knabe finishing it off. A 13-point advantage for Philomath still with just under 6 minutes to play. Looking to not let the Tigers back into this game. And they're finding some energy now as Jacob Peters turns the ball over. Knabe gives it up to Burnett. Burnett driving in the lane. He scoops it home with his left hand. It's now just at an 11-point game at what was once 20. Philomath turns it over once again, and Blake Ecker might consider calling a timeout or possibly substituting his guard. Cole Beardsley back in, and it appears he will do both. So Junction City finding some life after the Warriors' mistakes. Have climbed back into it, cutting it to just 11, 5.5 left. And both teams looking to spark some energy. The momentum in the favor of the Tigers right now. And Knabe with back-to-back shots has got to be feeling it. The Warriors will have to close in on him for sure. So Cole Beardsley with 4 fouls checks back into the game and is the top defender at the top of the key. Will have to play conservatively, and I'm sure the Junction City Tigers are aware of that and will try to attack him. Roethlisberger swings it over to Knabe in the corner. It's Kister. Back to Knabe on the far side. Kramer and Beardsley defending with the 2-3 zone trap. Kister at the logo of Marshfield. Throws it over. Corner shot from Roethlisberger. Comes up short. Peters collects the rebound. Beardsley crosses over to his right, back to his left. Drives into the lane, settles in the paint. Bounce pass to Russell, who is fouled as Roethlisberger flew through the air over the back of Russell, who will go to the line and shoot a couple. It's the second foul on the elder Roethlisberger, Caleb. Gunner, rather. Russell connects on the first. Russell's second bounces off the rim and into the hands of Junction City. Going the other way with Roethlisberger at the top of the key. Throws it over to Knabe. Kister in the corner, trapped by May and Peters. He gives it up to Knabe. Junction City has had trouble finding good offensive looks tonight and really an offensive rhythm. Those big hands of Peters stripped that one away from the pass from Espinoza. Beardsley crosses over, works on Kister, drives to the lane, and is fouled as the ball was taken away. And Beardsley will go to the line and shoot a couple in. I might be in agreement with the Junction City fans on that one. Cole Beardsley got lucky because it appeared to be all ball. Beardsley with a rare free throw mix that the Warriors certainly cannot afford here in the final 4 minutes of this one, 47-35. The score as Beardsley misses the second free throw with Roethlisberger coming down with the rebound. Knabe working his point guard position, facilitating the ball. Where it will go, they don't quite know as the rhythm has been certainly off. Kister back to Roethlisberger. And a timeout taken by Junction City as it appears that Coach Roethlisberger can sense that there is certainly an off rhythm with his team, not being able to get to their usual spots and open shots. And when they do, they're not able to connect. Philomath, on the other hand, playing their solid defense, but once again having to play conservative defense and not getting too over aggressive, as that has been the case for them tonight with 10 plus fouls. They've quit tracking after the 10. Junction City will start with it on the far side. 3:45 left to go here in the fourth. 47-35. Philomath leads by 12. Roethlisberger on the near side. Looks for the ball from Knabe. He gets it. This is it to Burnett, who thought about a three. Gives it back. And fall court pass over to Knabe, who isn't able to connect from downtown. It's an air ball into the hands of Chad Russell. Beardsley throws it into May. May out from beyond the arc. Works by Burnett. Gives it off to Kramer. Kramer working around. And from his spot, Ty May tries to hit the three. It's tipped off the hands of Burnett. But then I guess off the hands of Philomath. So it'll be Junction City ball. Cooper Roethlisberger checks into the game as Knabe takes it up the near side, walking it up. Dishing inside. Burnett goes up for the shot, gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Knabe. Knabe from the free throw line misses his shot. It's come down by Roethlisberger. He misses his attempt. It's stolen away by the elder Roethlisberger and is fouled. The foul coming on. We await the call. The foul on Preston Kramer. Thought it would be on potentially Cole Beardsley, which would have been a killer for Philomath. Roethlisberger hits his first. The second falls through, and the lead is just at 10. 2.5 minutes to play. Philomath going the other way. Preston Kramer nearly trying to get it back half court. Beardsley on the backside cut. The pass made by Jacob Peters. Beardsley crosses over, throws it over to May on the far side. May back over to Peters. Beardsley here on the near side. Works around the perimeter, comes off the screen from Kramer. He gets the pass outside, thought about the shot, gets it back into Peters, who gets a much better look but isn't able to finish it. And it's into the hands of Roethlisberger. As Junction City, with just over 90 seconds to play, looks to make it a one-possession game. A foul called on Chad Russell, his third personal. And so Gunnar Roethlisberger will shoot from the free throw line again. He now makes it a one-possession, a single-digit game. That is at 8 points. So what the Warriors feared, letting Junction City back into the game as they did Redmond yesterday. They look to try and hang on. A foul hand check called on number 24. That's Kanabe. His second personal. Peters hits his free throws. The difference maker down the stretch. Throughout the game, it's a critical factor. And the Warriors have done a good job tonight, led by May and Beardsley, who have each gotten to the free throw line extensively tonight, as both teams have surpassed 10 fouls. Kanabe in the lane, throws it off the glass. It's into the hands of May off the rebound. He's fouled as he came down with it. And the foul comes on Kanabe again. And excuse me for last time, that was his third personal foul, and now it's his fourth. So he has to, only 1:25 left to play. And only one foul left in him. May's first free throw hits back iron. Beardsley and Peters set to rebound. Connecting on the second. Roethlisberger on the far side launches a deep three. It hits only the net, not through it though. And Burnett goes up on the second effort. Tries to push it home. Gets fouled in the process. It comes on Preston Kramer. That's his fifth personal foul, and he will foul out. So a night coming to a close for Preston Kramer, shaking his head as he goes to the sideline, but a solid performance nonetheless, despite him fouling out. Came in critical moments throughout this game, both on the offensive and defensive ends. Just has a motor that doesn't stop and has really put in a great effort and showing tonight as he is an evolving piece in this Philomath championship puzzle. Burnett knocks it down. The lead at 10, 1:15 to go for Philomath. And for those who may be wondering, the team fouls have surpassed more than 10, and they quit tracking after that, so it's got to be a 12 plus for each team. So it's not going to matter. Each team's going to be shooting 2 free throws no matter what happens on the floor. And as we'll go to the stripe again, Time A shooting the free shots. Kanabe takes it up the far side, handing it off to Roethlisberger. Launches a three, falls to the floor, comes up short with not enough mustard on that one, as many of his threes have had not enough power. Jacob Peters fouled on the floor in the scuffle with a bunch of Junction City players. We'll see who they give the foul to. The foul comes on Roethlisberger, Cooper Roethlisberger. Gunnar Roethlisberger. Got him mixed up. They both look a little similar, but Gunner's got that curly mullet going, while Cooper just has the more sophisticated type haircut to say. So with 51 seconds left, Philomath with an 11-point advantage in a good spot. We'll see how much longer Junction City will continue to send Philomath to the free throw line, especially if they get it to their strong free throw shooters in Beardsley and May. But Junction City surpassing their scoring total from last time, where they only managed 32, now at 41, still nearly a minute left of game time. Peters inbounds to Beardsley. He's fouled immediately by Riley and will go to the line again. So if Philomath can continue this up at the free throw line, they will be looking at their sixth straight victory of the year, with several wins over top three opponents in different classifications for that matter, with wins over Redmond last night and then a win over the preseason number one Junction City earlier this season, potentially another one tonight. They already beat the number one at the time Gladstone by a wide margin. They are proving unstoppable through a large majority of this season in the early going. Burnett drives the other way and banks it in off the glass, finishing it off. Jacob Peters fouled immediately after the inbound. Go to the stripe once more. Lead still at 10 for Philomath as they've kept that margin of cushion thanks to the strong free throw shooting. And this is why Blake Ecker has all these guys at the end of practice make sure they make their free throws, and it's for times like these and more so in more tight situations where the game is on the line. Something's still left to be on the line, but it's going to be tough for Junction City to pull it off. Only 30 seconds to go. Knabe launches a three from the corner, and that could spark a little bit of life. Don't speak too soon. Knabe nails the three from the far side corner. The lead now at 7. 26 seconds left. So coming up for after this game, it'll be the Marshfield Pirates, the host school, taking on Astoria from the northwest corner of Oregon in a battle to face off in the privilege of taking on the Philomath girls basketball team in that championship bout. And then coming up at 8:30, Cascade Christian, the daunting team with a big 7-footer. Philomath players have been chatting about all tournament long. It appears to be the favorite to take on the winner of this matchup. Cole Beardsley has knocked the ball out of his hands as he was fouled by Riley in what has become a foul fest. And so, number 5, picks up number 5. Riley fouls out of the game. And number 1, Levi Walker, will fill his place on the court. I thought he was going to get some action, but Knabe checks in instead. He has 4 fouls, so he only has, all these Junction City players only have so many more fouls to give themselves before they're out of luck. Beardsley swishes it like butter through the net. Once again, Pure through the net. Knabe gives it off to Roethlisberger, launches a far 3 from the logo, rattles in and out of the rim. And a jump ball called as Bushnell collects the rebound. It'll stay with Junction City. 17.4 left. Philomath with a 9-point lead. Kister drives baseline, throws it up to Burnett. He misses off the back iron. Scramble on the floor. Cole Beardsley tries to come up with it. And a foul on the floor as Knabe throws it up to the official at the other end, as he knows this one is all but wrapped up. So Cole Beardsley making a strong case through the first 6 games of this season, as well as Ty May, but certainly Beardsley for the case of a Player of the Year candidate in the 4A division. Clock winding down. Burnett with the last shot. He fires it through, but the buzzer sounds and the final score comes to a conclusion. Philomath once again proves that opening night was no fluke, but Junction City came back with a second effort that pushed the Warriors to the limit. The Warriors survive 56-49 once again with another win over top 3 opponents. The top team in the 4A, your Philomath Warriors, win it 56-49 in a foul fest, physical, emotional battle, technicals coming on Junction City. But in the end of it all, Philomath advances to the South Coast Tournament Final for the 2nd straight season. And so both Philomath teams in the finals awaiting their opponents, with the winners of each of the next 2 games tonight determining who they will play. And those games will be set for the girls at 4 p.m. Saturday right here at Marchfield High School main gym, while the boys will be right afterwards at 5:45. And you can catch it exclusively right here on the Blake Steak live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Philomath wins it once again, staying undefeated, looking to capture 2 championships tomorrow. I'll be right here for the call, and I wish you all a wonderful, blessed rest of your night. And it's been a pleasure calling it for you.